Hey, welcome back everybody. Derrick Soo, your 2022 Oakland mayoral candidate. We're here at Madison Park in the Oakland Chinatown. I want to turn around. We have more mayoral candidates. We have Peter Liu. We have Alyssa Victory in the background there. We also have Treva Reed. Treva, where is she? There she is. There's Treva checking in there. And so we're going to be doing cleanup here at Madison Street, the park. And so we're going to be working with the community to help clean out this park and get things in order. Thanks for joining me today. We'll be right back.
I go by he and him, and I am part of OCA, Asian Pacific American Advocates, the East Bay chapter. And thank you everybody for being here, part of our Pick It Up program. Hey. I'd like to shout out some of our folks, Brian Lee, former board member who's been with us from the beginning. Francis Land, former board member of OCA East Bay, very involved in the community and hopefully soon to be retired. So that he can invest even more time into the community. Jess Lee, former OCA East Bay president, and my partner, as well as with our fur family. Yeah. But anyways, just a little quick background. OCA East Bay is part of this national Asian American civil rights organization with volunteer chapters and a national center in DC. And we'll just say it like this. We've been helping out with things like equal rights and representation and hate crimes long before it was trendy to do so. Long before there were t-shirts and hashtags, although we have t-shirts and hashtags. But a little over 6 years ago, at a time in Oakland Chinatown, when we were seeing a lot of illegal dumping and litter and stuff happening, it was our OCA East Bay board, all made up of volunteers, who were gathering at a T4 and trying to think about how to empower our community. And we were coming up with the lists, and actually I still give credit to Francis back there, who was like, we could be sitting around here for a while and we could make a list till we run out of paper. But he's like, I'm gonna give you some money and let's just start and do this thing, right? And we started that 6 years ago. It was 4 of us. We did a couple hours and picked and cleared 5 bags. But over time that has grown. And we have a lot of youth groups that are with us. They're getting ready for school, so they're like, Mike, could we take this month off? But it's really grown over that time, and we definitely made our mark to try to help out in the community. Some folks, and I'll just mention Stanley over there, who's been with us all this year, but what have we not picked up in this community? We picked up more boba cups than I care to count. We picked up cigarette butts, car bumpers, couches. In July, we picked up firecrackers, unlit firecrackers, which fortunately we're able to bring to a local fire station, and they helped us dispose of safely. But what you're doing here helps add to community safety. And what we always say here is it's not just about how many bags of trash you fill, it's about feeling that part of community ownership. And your community does not have to be the address on your license. It can be where you live, where you go to work, where you go to play, where you go to pray. Somebody told me that. I'm stealing that line from somebody. So with that, it's great to have people out here from your folks. Shouting out Matt from Asian Network, and he brought some of his family and as well as some of his co-workers from Asian Network. Also here, I want to mention Sakone from Family Bridges. So Family Bridges, if y'all don't know, they run the unhoused cabins under the freeway. Right? And Sakone has been doing a lot of work with the unhoused, some of whom would be otherwise maybe staying in the parks, staying in the commercial areas of Chinatown and stuff like that, and helping transition them to temporary housing and other services, other important services. But not only that, Sakone was part of the first group that did a Chinatown Ambassadors program that has been doing not only graffiti abatements, street cleaning, but also keeping eyes on the streets. And they've been able to successfully de-escalate a lot of situations and conflicts without having to involve the police. Therefore, the police can focus on higher priority calls. So a lot of these folks may have been unhoused, may have had mental health issues or things like that. And Sakone and his team, many of his team are folks who were previously unhoused and also formerly incarcerated, but it's a great way to, a transformative program to sort of break those traditional cycles that go around too often in other directions. So Sakone, actually today is his day off, but he was going to take a group out today to work on some graffiti abatement, because some of the graffiti, it's a constant struggle. Sometimes it's more than just a one and done process. You need to do constant treatments and stuff. So Sakone will be taking a group out today. All right. So just wanted to mention a couple things before we start. First off, we're here at Wilma Chan Park. For folks that don't know, it was renamed after the late and honorable Supervisor Wilma Chan. And I wanted to thank the city council members in attendance right now who passed that resolution to get that. So Councilmember Tao, District 4. Councilmember Reed from District 7 is here. And so that. And yeah, and Councilmember Taylor's office is here. District 6. And the renaming is just the beginning, right? There's an effort to not just put up signs, but to unite the community about trying to further revitalize this park, because our parks are such an important asset to our communities. And I'll just say for this park, and I'll just say this, at some points, private developers have approached the city to try to build on this park. They say, hey, it seems kind of neglected. We could add a lot more value to it. So we could build condos on it. And some folks in the community, in concert with the city council, in some of those meetings go, what are you gonna do about the open space? And they say things like, oh, we'll put up rooftop gardens, which, as we all know, are not publicly accessible. So it's kind of a use it or lose it type of thing. But we've had to at sometimes defend our needs for public open green space. So that's another thing we're doing here. And that's why we home base out of things here. Right? So last thing I'll mention is, not gonna mention any names, but there are folks here running for the mayor of Oakland here, right? As a 501c3 nonprofit, we are not able to take sides. I'm just saying people are here and you're allowed to talk to them, right? Ask them tough questions and stuff like that. But I really just, appreciate, well, not just candidates for high office, but folks here wanting to help out and wanting to put time in here. So, and time for Chinatown. So while you're out in those groups, if you happen to be in a group with those folks, or before we all break out, feel free to ask them questions, and I hope all of you, on those ballots, will answer those questions, right? But in a sec, after that, we'll going through here, we're going to break folks into teams, and we're going to focus most of our time on the commercial core of Chinatown. So sending folks down 8th Street and 9th Street. Sakone will be with a team doing some graffiti treatments on some of the places. We have a bunch of paint thinner and other products to try to do some of this stuff. please don't try to lift stuff that can't fit in the bag. We'll be giving folks numbers and stuff, and if there is major dumping or things that need to be handled, you'll have my number, and we'll get some more help with that. Lastly, just let's all have fun, right? But if you haven't yet, if you want to get these little stickers, what I say is the local business T4 has long time offered discounts to volunteers for this. So they're offering a 10% discount to volunteers who show up today, just today. I think the deadline is 3 o'clock, and it's for both drinks and food. Ooh, yeah. But please do not throw out those boba cups out in the street for us to do that. So in a sec, if folks want to grab their gear, we're gonna also just try to take a group picture with folks that are here, and then we will go clean up. But thank you so much. And by the way, the drop-off space for garbage bags is that corner up there on 9th and Jackson. So when folks come back, they can bring their bags there, and we can we have Public Works coming to pick up those bags. We have it down here and not in the business corridor because sometimes the City of Public Works doesn't come right away, or maybe even takes a couple days. So not wanting to have those bags block anyone's business. So everybody get your stuff. We're gonna take a group picture, and thank you so much for being here.